Welcome back to New England Living. Coming up next, Chef Douglas Williams teaches us how to cook Italian with a twist.
Ordering your antipasti on
Chef
back.
and owner of Mita in Boston South End, Douglas Williams was recently named one of this year's top 10 best new chefs in America by Food and Wine magazine. His hands-on style is reflected in the quality of his food, rolling, cutting, and stuffing all his own pastas. From bucatini to bolognese, Mita is a pasta lover's paradise. But it's not just about the food. While their menu focuses on simple, classic Italian cooking, when it comes to atmosphere, positivity and acceptance are just as important to the dining experience as the food. We are here at the Clarke, Sub-Zero, and Wolf Test Kitchen, and I am joined by Douglas Williams, chef owner of Mita. So
Yes.
tell me about this restaurant.
So Mita is an Italian restaurant on the corner of Mass Ave and Tremont. Mita means generosity in Italian, and we try to convey that to every part of the menu, how we price, portion size, how we greet, how we say goodbye. And I think it's really catching on with the city.
And you are bringing us Italiano today.
Italiano, bucatini alla matriciana, and this
I'm
is
glad you said that, by the way.
Thank you. I'm going to test you later. This is a central Italian dish. It's delicious, it's crunchy, it's chewy, it's meaty, it's salty, it's everything you want. So this noodle is made for this sauce and this preparation. And what it does is when it cooks, is it grabs all the sauce and it sucks it inside of itself so that when you eat it, it bursts and gives you this explosion of texture and excitement and saltiness and cheesiness all within one noodle.
I am so excited
It's
for
pretty
this.
cool. Okay.
Okay,
So-
talk about this situation
Yes,
going on.
this
You made me do
ridiculousness,
this.
yes, this looks
I did
ridiculous.
not want to do this.
But this saves your hands and saves your time.
Okay.
So basically this is your setup for grabbing hot pans. You don't want to leave your towels on the stove. You want to leave them on your side so you can just grab, go, put it back, and be safe, be clean, be tight, and it helps you work quickly and cleanly and sanitary.
Okay, so a little tip for home because
Yeah.
you do not want to do this
Just don't
in
let
public.
any, just don't walk outside your door and you'll be just
Exactly.
fine.
Okay, so talk about the pasta sauce here. What are we working with?
So, to begin, we have to actually start getting the guanciale going. And guanciale, we're just gonna heat it up just to render it out, just to get a little crispiness to it. The guanciale is actually cured pig jowl.
Oh.
And it's super delicious. Super
It looks
delicious.
really
it
good.
looks really, really good. It's seasoned with bay leaf and pepper and salt for about 3 months. We dice it up, render it out to get rid of the excess fat, and we use it in some of the best pasta sauces in the world.
Yum.
Okay, so we're gonna let that render out. Let's
Okay.
check this noodle real quick. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll
So
take
what are we
this.
looking for here?
So with the noodle, you want it to be somewhat limp, but you also want to have some body to it. So what you're gonna do is what we do in the restaurant.
Okay.
Is we take it and we bite it, and you see that white little
Yep, it's a
circle
little
in the
white
middle?
inside.
You want that. You want just a little tiny white. That shows that it has that al dente bite, right?
Okay.
But we also have to cook it for another 60 seconds in the sauce because you don't just want to take the noodle out in a perfectly consistent sauce and then cook it down because then you end up with paint. And you don't want to eat
don't want
paint.
that.
No, you
No.
don't want that. So you want actually the sauce to be a little looser than it would be. So we're actually going to take the matriciana sauce, which is the guanciale fat.
Okay. And while you're doing that, I was on your website. I was trying to dig up a little dirt about you.
Yes.
And you have a line on there that I absolutely love.
Yes.
It's that hugs and handshakes are necessary. So
Yes, yes.
what kind of vibe do people get when they come to your restaurant and sit down for a meal?
I think a family vibe is what people get, and I think that's what people want to pay for, and I think that's what people want to experience.
So you just took the water from the pasta and
Yes.
you poured it in the sauce.
Yes, we call it God's water, and basically it just has a good amount of saltiness, has a bit of starch. It helps with the body and the texture and the viscosity of the sauce that you're making, whether thick or thin. So now we're gonna take this while it's thin, while the sauce is thin, we're
Okay.
gonna take this slightly undercooked noodle.
Yep.
We're gonna add it to the pot. Okay, move this to the side.
This is looking really good.
You just want to be very gentle. You don't want to be forceful. You don't want to be too quick. You want to feel like you're one with the pasta. So I think we're actually going to add just a pinch of pepper. Okay, ground pepper, this fresh ground pepper. So you don't need too much. But again, all the spiciness and all the zestiness comes from that pepper. Okay, and not from chilies. And we just add a pinch of salt just to make sure it's right there.
Just a little bit.
Okay, and now you can see it's starting to thicken up a bit. But we want all this sauce to be inside of the noodle. And how do we do that? Well, we do it by tossing it. So we're just gonna toss, and now you can start to see that the sauce is not here, but rather attached to the noodle, and that's what you want. That's how you know when the pasta is at its almost peak moment. What we're gonna do is emulsify. So we're gonna take
What?
it off the, we're
What
gonna
was that
emulsify.
word?
We're gonna
Okay,
emulsify. We're
okay.
gonna mix two things that aren't
Yes.
supposed to go together and make them super, super yummy. Okay, that's what it is. And I'm gonna turn this heat off, and you're gonna drizzle in just a little bit of olive oil, and we're just gonna notice the sheen that it gains.
And what I love about this is a fancy dish, but you just made it so easy for people to do at home.
Yeah,
and it's quick.
Yes, of course. Oh, all pasta is quick. You just have to time it properly. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that.
Okay.
And we're just going to plate it. So you notice that the noodles have good rigidity. Grab that olive oil, please.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just gonna take it and just garnish with a little, always when you do pasta, you always wanna finish with a little olive oil. It keeps the noodles separate, keeps them from sticking to each other. And then we're gonna finish with just a little bit of Pecorino Romano cheese, which you can get at any specialty store. Okay, just like that.
That
and you have
looks
the perfect
amazing.
dish.
Is this the part where we give the little chef's kiss?
Yes, and then also a bite.
A bite,
Okay,
more
here we go.
importantly. Okay.
So go in there, just get it. If you want a small bite, you kind of bring the fork up and just grab a little bit. But if you want a big one, you dig it really in there.
Well, I do want a
and
big
start
one,
to twist
but
it.
we're gonna try to look.
Do your
okay.
best. I'm not
I'm
no
gonna try
guarantees.
here.
Here we go.
That is so good.
Salty, rich, everything you need.
You actually gave us the recipe for that. You can find it on our website, cbsboston.com/New England Living. So check it out. And for more information on Chef Douglas and Mita, you can find it there as well. So thank you again for
Thank you
being
very
here.
much.
This is, delicious.
Mwah.
Mwah. From Italian food to Italian stone, we're heading to Everett, Massachusetts to meet the family behind one of New England's largest collections of marble and granite. A passion for high-quality stone that started 7 generations ago in Verona, Italy, and has now made its way to homes throughout New England. This is Cumar. Carlotta Kubi is the 8th generation of her family to work with stone and Cumar's executive vice president. So we are here at your beautiful facility in Everett, Massachusetts. It's massive. You're housing huge slabs of stone. Tell me what goes on in here.
So this is a 100,000 square foot facility. We import the stone directly overseas. This allows our customers to come here, shop for the best selection, and also have us manufacture and install it. Our manufacturing facility is at the back of that wall, and it's 23,000 square feet, a brand new facility that we finished building out in 2013.
And you have 7 generations involved in the stone business. What made your family get into this?
The region that we came from in Verona, it's kind of an industry of the region, and it's either red wine or stone. And my father's family, half went into the red wine and half of it went into the stone. So my dad was in the stone, and his father had a fabrication shop, and his grandfather as well. And he grew up across the street, and it's just always what he was exposed to.
At the beginning, I don't want to go do this one. My father make me work in the stone. I want to do something different. I want to travel the world, go different place. When married, I start having children, I start working hard inside the stone, I start loving.
He's very, very passionate about stone. We joke sometimes that he's almost like a woman with shoes. Like he can't say no, and he can't like give them away. He gets too attached. He goes to the quarries, he selects the blocks himself. The relationships that he has allow him to have first pick of the nicer lots or bundles that come out. When he's buying something, he's truly making an investment in the business because it's for stock. It's not always for a specific project.
Your daughter told us that you get really attached to each piece.
I love every single piece, okay?
Are you more attached to one than others?
When it's very rare, I don't like to sell it. If it's very rare, I like to keep it. I like every single stone. It's all beautiful.
All the way from Verona, Italy to Massachusetts, what made your family decide to plant roots here and start a business here?
My dad, he had actually come here first, and he had spent some time in New York, Chicago, as well as Boston. And after a couple years of going back and forth, when he realized that the opportunities were here, he and my mom discussed, and he felt that Boston was the best city to raise a family.
I have 2 young kids, they need to grow up. I cannot do it in New York. I was think about the kid, and I think the best way to do it is in Boston.
Can you tell me about what a typical New England style is when they're coming in here and shopping for stone?
New England's changed a lot, actually. When I first got into this business, I can remember saying over and over to my vendors, no, that stone won't go. New England's too traditional. You gotta stay within the palettes that they're used to, the traditional decor, where now it's the opposite. Designers, homeowners are choosing what they've never seen before. Now, this region is fashion forward as it comes to the design and the decor. So it's really come a long way, and it's been really fun.
And when it comes to building the perfect piece for a client, Cumar spares no expense.
My dad's always investing in the newest and greatest. Most of our machines are operated through computers. We have a water jet machine that cuts with a high pressure water jet, and it's actually our oldest machine, if you believe it, and it was one of the first ones used in this industry. We have cutting machines that all get programmed through digital templating. We have a machine that allows us to resurface all the slabs that you see here. So if you see something here that's polished and a client says, I'm looking for something that has a texture or more antique-y looking or softer look, then we can process it here and refinish the surface to give it a different look.
According to Carlotta, what truly sets Cumar apart is their attention to detail.
Although we do have a lot of high-tech machinery and state-of-the-art equipment, and it's very impressive and very big and very new, at the end of the day, without hand craftsmanship, which every single piece here goes through, nothing comes off of a machine and goes to a job site. Everything goes through a phase of hand cleanup or polishing or touch-up. Without that, it wouldn't fall in that Cumar quality that we're known for.
My success is I work hard, and the day by day, penny by penny, you put it together and reinvest in the business. At the end of the day, is the American dream.
Coming up next, how to transform your bathroom into a home oasis when New England Living returns.